300,000 years, humanity had one home. In 2050, a second home was born. Mars, once uninhabitable, would become our first established civilization away from planet Earth. A miracle of human innovation. Arcadia Planitia at dawn. A dome city glows defiantly through a rolling crimson Martian storm. A gloved hand presses against the translucent dome panel. Cyan interior light bleeds softly through suspended Martian dust. Behind that fragile barrier, a full civilization breathes. Hundreds of thousands now call this red world home. Translucent sky bridges connect habitat clusters, pulsing like glowing veins across the Regolith plain at deep Martian twilight. Inside the dome, a figure removes their helmet. The air is manufactured, but it is finally theirs. Beyond the observation window, Earth rises slowly, a pale blue pinpoint suspended in the deep Martian sky. Below the boots, frozen Regolith stretches forever. Every footprint marks the youngest civilization in human history. But this future was almost lost. The road to 2050 bent sharply in 2026. On Earth in 2026, the Mars dream paused. Priorities suddenly shifted toward a moon city first. 5 to 7 years vanished from the original timeline. Yet the Earth-Mars transfer windows kept opening anyway. The engineers refused to abandon the destination entirely. They simply rebuilt the entire path with ruthless mathematical precision. By the early 2030s, Starship reached orbital readiness. Full ship-to-ship refueling demonstrations succeeded above Earth. Tanker fleets docked silently in low Earth orbit. Frost crystallized across cryogenic propellant couplings between two stainless hulls. The very first proper transfer window opened wide. A full fleet of stainless steel ships departed Earth together. 6 long months of silent interplanetary transit followed. A suited figure watched the sun shrink slowly behind them. Mars filled the forward viewport, rust-red and ancient. Atmospheric entry interface began precisely on schedule, without ceremony. A glowing plasma sheath wrapped the hull completely. External temperatures climbed past 1,500 degrees outside. Inside the cabin, violent vibration shook every instrument panel. One suited figure braced hard against the brutal deceleration. The retro thrusters ignited. Methane flame met thin Martian atmosphere, kicking ancient red dust skyward in spirals. The first ship descended toward Arcadia Planitia. A new civilization was, at this exact moment, about to begin.
The first ship has landed, but landing is the easy part. Now civilization must actually be built.
Touchdown on Arcadia Planitia. Methane plumes settle, dust falls. The first hatch hisses slowly fully open. A boot meets red regolith. Behind it, an entire dome city waits, lit cyan against the dusk. This is what real survival on Mars actually requires. 5 engineering pillars, each impossible to solve alone. Pillar 1, air and fuel, both manufactured from the thin Martian atmosphere using 19th century chemistry. Inside the Sabatier reactor, carbon dioxide meets hydrogen. Methane and water emerge, drop by precious drop. Outside, vast atmospheric processors tower above engineers. They breathe Mars in and breathe pure oxygen out. At the methane depot, returning starships refuel for Earth. The propellant cycle now closes itself completely. Pillar 2. Water, drawn directly from the frozen ice locked deep beneath the Arcadia Planitia substrate. Subsurface mining rigs drill deep. Cyan-lit bore shafts descend through layers of ancient Martian permafrost. Ice cores emerge crystalline, glittering under work lights. Each one represents thousands of liters of clean water. A single glass of water sits on a table. From Martian ice, drinkable, ordinary, miraculous. Pillar 3. Power. Civilization runs on energy, and Mars provides only half of what Earth does. Surface fission reactors hum quietly across the plain. Kilopower-derived cores deliver continuous gigawatts to the grid. Through shielding viewports, the reactor core glows deep cyan. Controlled, contained, the heart of every Martian system. Solar arrays stretch across the regolith as backup. They feed the grid through long, dim daylight hours.
Subscribe to Nova Tech. From AI, science, technology, and the cosmos, we don't just report on it, we decode it.
At twilight, habitat lights flicker on across the city. Power flows. The civilization is alive and breathing. Pillar 4. Shelter printed directly from the planet itself, layer by patient regolith layer of construction. Building-sized regolith printers extrude habitat shells across the construction zone. Mars becomes its own raw material supply. Humanoid construction robots work the night shift alongside human engineers. Tireless, precise, the silent, steady workforce. Pillar 5. Food. Without it, civilization lasts months. With it, civilization lasts forever, expanding outward continually. Hydroponic cathedrals rise inside agricultural domes. Vertical walls of crops glow under spectrum-tuned grow lights everywhere. A single tomato hangs ripe on the vine, the youngest fruit ever grown beyond planet Earth.
Survival is solved. Now begins the harder question. What kind of civilization?
Air, water, power, shelter, food. The 5 pillars stand, but these alone do not make civilization. Civilization is what people build when survival ends as the question. Mars 2050 has crossed that threshold. Morning in the Dome City. Shift change moves in waves through pressurized transit corridors at half-Earth gravity. Maglev pods glide between habitat clusters. Workers, engineers, scientists, parents, all heading to their assigned roles. Inside a private quarters, a desk holds Martian-printed objects, a photo frame, a worn book, and a plant. The university lecture hall is full. Adult students at terminals study Martian geology, fission engineering, hydroponic biology. A hand writes notes on a tablet, fine red dust still clinging stubbornly to the curved screen edge. In a recreation dome, low-gravity ballet unfolds. Bodies hold impossible poses, suspended in rare half-gravity grace. This is the texture of a working society. People, purpose, presence. The economy hums quietly beneath everything. The manufacturing facility runs 3 shifts daily. Tools, parts, components, all machined directly from Martian raw materials. A finished metal ingot bears the stamp "Made on Mars," laser engraved in clean, utilitarian font. At the trade dock, cargo starships load for Earth return. Rare Martian alloys flow back along trade lanes. Mission Control monitors the 26-month communication window with Earth. Latency now defines all interplanetary commerce decisions. The Council Chamber sits in session. Diverse Martian representatives debate beneath a holographic city map glowing cyan above. A document scrolls across a holographic table. The Martian Charter. Self-determination written in clear, deliberate, measured language. A cultural installation glows in a public dome. Distinctly Martian art, built from regolith and refined cyan light. A Mars-printed book sits on a reading table, philosophical title visible. Reading culture has now taken root. But the cost is real. Radiation monitors glow steady on every habitat wall. The planet outside never forgets. In the medical bay, bone scanners hum quietly. The body pays its tax for low Martian gravity. 22 minutes Earth time delay flashes on every comms terminal. Family conversations now span hours, not seconds. A person stands at the observation window, watching Earth 140 million miles away. Will humanity actually live on Mars by 2050? Tell us yes or no in the comments below.
If this opened your eyes to what's next, hit that like button. Subscribe to Novatech and stay at the frontier of discovery. There's more to uncover. Click the video on your screen now and continue the journey with us.